My goodness, I am almost at a loss for words. Oda's at it again. He left us on hold with Sabo. Loved the chapter. The chapter was actually crazy in so many ways. There were so many little things that if you didn't see it, it's kind of like, I guess it just missed you. But there were so many things in this chapter, it's kind of like almost too much to talk about. But I still want to know, what does Sabo have to say? If they leave us on that and I don't get to hear Sabo's voice over the Denden Mushi, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. I need to know what's happening with him. Um, Goat and disappointment of the chapter. Blackbeard. Come on, man. I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed. That's what you were after the entire time. That's it. I get it, but I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. But let's review the chapter. So it starts out very much with Marco. Marco's growing on me a lot. I mean, I liked him all the way back when we met him at the Summit War, but he just keeps growing on me. He just seems like a good guy, pushing forward just whatever's happening in the world, and he's not trying to force anything. He's just trying to like help the world along, and whatever its path is, whatever the destiny or fate of everybody is. Even Shanks pulling a Luffy, trying to get him to join the crew, and he's like, no. Something very important that we got is why Yamato did not join the crew. I accept the idea. I am not upset anymore. I mean, I am upset. I think it was kind of a slam dunk in a lot of ways, but she's absolutely right. Now with the borders still closed, but without Kaido being there, and with people knowing that Kaido was defeated, she does need to be there to protect. She is definitely somebody who is super strong. It's kind of tough to rank her. It's very tough to rank her strength. Very tough, but we got to think that it's somewhere around like a Sanji slash Jinbei, I would say. But it's weird, because then you could argue, wait a minute, she fought against Kaido for God knows how long, so she's super strong. Yeah, I guess, maybe, I don't know, and her fruit's broken, so possibly, maybe she's stronger than Zoro, but I can't say it. I can't, there's not enough there for me to even say that. There's not enough. I bet on Jinbei, that's all I'm going to say. But she's right. She needs to protect the land. Everybody's disappointed. And she's talking about this right after they had to fight Green Bull, which makes sense in the timeline, because I don't want to get into it too much. I'm almost done with rereading all of Wano. But she says it like 5 fucking times. She says it way more than I thought she did about joining the crew, about going out to sea with the Straw Hats, about being part of the Straw Hats, about doing what Odin did and going to sea. But she was bullshitting. But she's right. She needs to protect the land, and Luffy's like, yeah, it'd be nice to not worry about it. Luffy has a nice little moment with Marco saying, hey, thanks for protecting me back in the war. And then we get the good shit. Then we get this part of the chapter that I'm like, what? I had to go back and reread it so many times. I forgot. I meant to go back and reread Boa and her sisters when they were rescued by Fisher Tiger, and kind of what's going on there, because I think that there's some I'm going to get to at the end here that's interesting. Amazon Lily was attacked. Amazon Lily was attacked by the Marines. We knew this. And another thing, if you know the answer to this question, please tell me. Is Kobe a captain, or is he a rear admiral? Is it a translation error? I don't know. Last time we saw him, it told me that he was a rear admiral. And because this translation is kind of new, I'm not sure which one to believe. But I've heard that when it said rear admiral, it was a translation error that he's a captain. So I'm like, I don't know what you are, dude. I have no idea what you are. If he was a rear admiral, he ranked up quick, and it's very impressive. And I think it'd kind of be weird for him to pass up Smoker that quick. So I would default to captain, but last time I checked, that man was a rear admiral. So they're going in there. They're with the Vice Admiral, Yamakaji, the guy, the big cigar man. He doesn't do shit. He doesn't do a damn thing. But he talks about the new pacifistas, something that we have been trying to see this entire time. The goat of this chapter is Vegapunk, and the disappointment of this chapter is Blackbeard. But Vegapunk has been working. He's been cooking. He's been making something fierce. There's a reason the warlords are not needed anymore, and it's because of these new pacifistas. I don't know if when he's talking about it that they're called Seraphims. I don't know if that's their new name, but it's a little strange because he says deploy the new pacifistas. The Seraphims should be on the front lines. Is that the same thing? Are they the same? Is that like their model type? I'm not sure. But they're fighting, they're going in, and then immediately Blackbeard shows up, causing a scene and wrecking havoc. Now, the first thing that I have to say about this is not his whole crew, and I hope that you understand that. This is a single ship with 2 captains, 2, like, I guess alright captains. They haven't really proven themselves in any way, and I'm pretty sure they get sauced up here. pretty sure we don't see them at the end, so it's kind of like, it's a disappointing showing from the Blackbeard Pirates. It's a disappointing showing. But it was kind of a tough double opponent. It was a tough situation for everybody involved. You have the new pacifistas who seem stupid strong, who seem very strong. Like, they're destroying everybody except Hancock and except, I guess, maybe her sisters and Blackbeard. I don't know what happened with Devon. I don't know what happened with the big drunk man. But they're nowhere to be seen when they're kind of at their impasse, if they're kind of at their standstill. So next thing we know, I mean, it happens quick. We don't get a whole lot of battle time, but they're talking about he's the hero of Rocky Port. How if it wasn't for him, what's the name of this guy? Forgetting the name. His name is Auchu? Is that his name? Hold. Oust. Ochoku? Ochoku was a member of the Rocks Pirates, and he was holding down the pirate island. Now, it seems like somebody is always holding down that pirate island, and he was able to help Blackbeard kind of get there and lay claim to that land, which it seems like he's been on and been partying with all of his crew for some time now. And then we have two of these little pacifistas who look oddly and strikingly familiar. They bring up one, and the other one's pretty easy. I wish they didn't give us as much clues, because they really don't need to after what we just experienced in Wano. But we straight up have Little King. We straight up have Little Arbor with his wings, his flames, dark skin, white hair, going in and fighting these people and being very strong. Even Blackbeard's like, holy shit, this kid is strong. I was a little surprised. They don't seem to be very much under control, and I think that Oda really wanted us to realize that and be like, okay, these things are robots, these things are a problem, and these things can wreak havoc in terms of strength and in terms of like overall island and damage. Like, as a whole, they're a huge problem. They're carrying the power of what seems like a Lunarian. What this means and what we see with this going forward, I don't know. I mean, obviously this is an artificial Lunarian because it is a pacifista, but a big problem, a huge problem. I don't know why Vegapunk is cooking this much, but he is. And another thing, both of their eyes are actually different. The star eyes on little Boa, which the other one's obviously little Boa, and they point that out, but she looks kind of like a Lunarian in her own right. So then, okay, so all these new pacifistas are also part Lunarian. So then if King was being tortured, then they were able to carry on whatever they learned there to create artificial beings, Vegapunk's a genius, of these pacifistas in Lunarian form. Not only that, but it seems like they're almost able to copy some eye abilities. The star eyes, I have no idea, but we have to think there's something. If we look at little Arbor and his little eyes, who do they look like? This might be a far stretch, but it's not. I mean, look at the eyes. They look like Mihawk's eyes. What does that mean? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Probably. But they look like Mihawk's eyes. That's all I'm going to say. They get to their little impasse part, and we learn a lot really quickly in just little dialogue. Just little dialogue. Boa's bounty is 1.6 bill. Solid. That's solid. That's a hefty bounty, which kind of, I guess we can give Blackbeard a bit more credit with going after her. I'm just disappointed, man. This is all you wanted. I get it. You're going to get the powers first and then go from there, but Blackbeard got raised up. He's just barely under 4 bill. But he's at 4 bill, so he is the second highest bounty at the moment that we know of. That's alive, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. Boa with some balls, even though Blackbeard kind of whooped her ass. Of course, I mean, he had to go full black hole mode. He was like, nah, man, I got to pull out my broken shit. Still looks like I'm getting used to this Quake a little bit in like this kind of a fight. And I can't destroy this whole island because too many of my boys are on here. But as long as I have, the Yami Yami no Mi, you're kind of, I got you in check. So they're kind of in an impasse. And then who steps in out of nowhere without any, warning at all? Silver's Rayleigh. And I love it. He's like, it's a little immature of me to say, but I don't like you. I don't like you, man. You're kind of a piece of shit. I watched you kill Whitebeard after you were on his ship for 2 decades. You asshole. Maybe even 3. It was a long time. Blackbeard's I think he's 30s, 40s, I think. I want to say 40s, younger 40s, but I'm not 100% on that. But he was on it for a while. I mean, we saw him as a little kid jump on that ship, begging to be on that ship, and he had a plan the whole time. We don't know the situation here, but Rayleigh was able to de-escalate the situation. What happened to the pacifistas? Did they fall in the black hole? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like I said, it doesn't seem like they were able to be defeated, and they're like, yeah, we couldn't even really touch them. So I think that they might have gotten sucked in the black hole just because Kobe getting kidnapped's a little strange. Because if those guys are still active, I don't think Kobe's gonna get kidnapped. I don't think Blackbeard could handle two of them at once. That, and Rayleigh doesn't really care what happens to the Marines. He doesn't know who Kobe is. He's obviously, him and Luffy got a good back and forth, but he doesn't know who Kobe is. So he's like, you take that guy. I'm going to go ahead and protect Amazon Lily, and we kind of find out even more. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've learned this. I almost bet on it. But the lady, the ex-captain of the Kuja Pirates, Shakuyaku, from Sabayori, it blew my mind. I was like, wait, you're the ex-captain of the Kuja Pirates now? Like, just out of nowhere? Is that the connection here that Rayleigh has? Was there something between those two? I don't know. But Rayleigh made it happen, but he does admit, I don't think that I would be able to beat Blackbeard. And I think that he's probably right. I mean, Oda's pretty serious about kind of old age in One Piece and kind of like what it means for people. But it's super strange. These new pacifistas are the most interesting thing. And that's why I think Vegapunk is a problem. Now, I could do a whole thing on Vegapunk by himself. I could talk about how long has that guy been alive? How long? If not by himself, by the Gorosei. He's clearly with the government. He's clearly deep in the government. They haven't even shown us what he looks like. They haven't even kind of shown us anything about him. The closest we've gotten to seeing anything of Vegapunk was a shadowy figure that was yelling at Caesar for being a dumbass on Punk Hazard. That was it. That's all we've seen. And now he's breaking out the fucking Lunarian 2.0 pacifistas. It's a problem. It's a big problem. But I'm excited because that adds so much tech to the end of One Piece that I'm excited to see kind of like where it goes and what we see. But if these guys are not capable of the Great Cleansing, I don't know what is. And without question, I can tell you, I don't think they're going to be needing those warlords anymore. Maybe Mihawk. Can't do a video without saying Mihawk's name. But that's it. That's all I have. A great chapter. No break next week. I think we're getting back to the Resistance next week. But my God, Oda, you're speeding things up. You're speeding things up quickly. I did say that I think that Kobe was going to catch Hancock. But that was me thinking he was a rear admiral, okay? He's just a captain, okay? He's just Smoker. Smoker never wins, okay? But he actually got kidnapped himself. I don't know. Luffy might be doing something about this. Kobe might be dying. I don't know. It's too early to tell. Worry about these pacifistas. Take a look at their eyes again. It's very interesting. But that's that. They're going to be docking at Egghead Port soon regarding kidnapping. I don't know what this means. But hopefully we get back with Sabo next week. And that's all I have for you guys. Have a great weekend, and peace out.